Hey guys, Jeremiah here. So today I'm going to do a greenhouse walkthrough. This will be my Temperate greenhouse with most of my mother stock of Flytraps. It is the middle of September, so I would say they aren't quite at their prime anymore, but they are still looking super amazing. Well, I know how much you guys love these tours, so let's get us turned around here and I will start explaining some things. Okay. So let's see what we've got here. Let's see. Then we will start off with like the mother stock of Flytraps. So we have ones like this as Southwest Giant. This one here is SI15. Could be SL15. I've never quite been sure which that actually is. Flytrap Store Maroon Monster. Whale right here, which honestly has not had its best year ever, but still looking pretty good. Here's a Fused Tooth Extreme. Here is La Grossa a la Gigi, which is definitely one of my biggest Flytraps. Crimson Sawtooth. DCXL is definitely a best spring grower for me. We have A2. B52, I know some people think that it's been bested, but it is still just as big as anything out there. King Henry, arching flat skinny leaves, never seems to get enough love. And Big Vigorous is definitely big and vigorous. A relatively new arrival, Big Jaws crossed with Dentata. Just a beautiful plant. A few Saracenian here. That's a Whistleberry Toad. We have stuff like Crimson Queen, hasn't been getting quite enough light. This is Damon's clone of Flava Ornata. As we move down, Legacy here, just about to throw up some really nice fall pictures. This one here is Leucophila Alabama. I think I got that one from Callan Hall a little while back. Elvis Wilkerson, looking pretty nice this time of year. Here's a really nice white Leuco there. Here's Leah crossed with Adrian Slack. Nice clone. A Leuco from the Slack Bog. Moving on down, Flavas are pretty much done for the season. This one is F47. Then this one here is a little bit of powdery mildew on that one. It's F49. It's just spectacular. Then this Rugelii here is F18. And there we go. So this was actually the second greenhouse I ever built. This one is about probably 15 years old now. It's just a little Ryan greenhouse. I believe it's 16 by 10 feet. Still holding up pretty well. Had a little hail a while back, so might have to replace some of the top panels. This one is Megamouth, which is probably my favorite Sarracenia in the fall. It is just absolutely incredible. As we move along, this is an Aries crossed with Black Widow, one that I did a little while back. Then we have Leah Wilkerson over here. Here is L78, a really nice Luke. Then we have some of the Perps. This is the Tattnall County from Mike Wang. And some of the for sale Flytraps on this side. Some of the Perps known as Veinless, which are actually really nice. This one here is the Vampire Queen. Oh man, it's spectacular. Also, I think from Kaylin, relatively, I think it was the end of last year, so it hasn't quite settled in. Then here are the rest of my mother Flytraps. These are pretty much in alphabetical order. So this one back here is Z02, which obviously is at the very end. Werewolf, I got this one from Kirk Simpson, I think just last year, but holy cow, that is just a mass of werewolf style traps. Yellow, Vitiligo, then we have stuff like UK Sawtooth, definitely another favorite of mine. Over here we have St. Patrick's Beard. I get the really weird traps on that one in the spring. Some other cool ones with like this lizardy scale on there. Red/purple there. Some of the Ron Gagliardo 38 clones, so N, J, and I think A. N has definitely been the fastest growing for me, but they're all pretty nice. Rabbit Teeth is a pretty cool one. And we have Red Dragon, just a classic. Pink Venus, Petite Dragon crossed with Jaws, Mega Traps, Mirror, which sometimes will produce the classic mirror traps, but definitely not on every trap. Monkey Ass, and we have Moon Trap here. So Monkey Ass definitely gets a lot more red in it. Moon Trap recesses all the way. This one has to be olive green, I would guess. Patches is not looking its best this year. Very few spots. Here's a really cool one, Prime, also from Kirk Simpson there. And what else is looking super cool? Jaws, oh my goodness. I mean, that's just a classic plant. Got this one from the Flytraps store a little while ago, and it's just spectacular. Jaws Smiley, oh my goodness. That one is so unique. Jaws crossed with 1955, which seems to be very similar to Jaws, just a little bit maybe darker under my care. And what do we have here? Harmony, Henning's Giant, V12. Let's kind of move over here now. This one is enormous. It's Great White Shark. So I know I sent out a few of those this year, so I'm curious how everyone's doing with them. We have Green Sawtooth back here. Green Jaws Basmati. What is this little guy? Cluster Trap. Never a big one under my care, but definitely unique. This one, let's see, it's a Green Jaws Hedgehog. Definitely gets some of those weird traps first thing in the spring. Green Jaws Goliath. Then we have Monticore, which, holy cow, it was producing some 2-inch traps this spring, but still looking pretty good right now. Phalanx, not a huge one for me, but spectacular. Green Jaws Mariachi. That is so weird. Then we have Bloody Nurse. Such a classic clone. Fused Tooth, the regular one. We have Giant, I think. This one is the best carnivorous plant clone, and it's been floating around the US for probably 20 years now. Fondue back there, it already looks like it's melted. As we come along down, Dentata A, oh my goodness, this spring it was having some of the biggest traps in my collection. A little bit smaller, these fall traps, but not too bad. Cross Teeth, ooh, Hellcat. Do you see the size of that? That is just so weird. I love it. Green Jaws clone, of course. Coquillage, which is like a seashell. The Cup Traps, which, ooh, they're pretty cool. Crocodile, Crested Petiole, Clumping, Clayton's Red Sunset, Carolina Red Trap, Bristle Teeth. Bohemian Garnet, this one's kind of a cool one. Blood Red. It has a little bit of those like white on the tips of their Cecilia, kind of like a phalanx, very long traps there. And we have Kim Jong-un, definitely a smallish one. I got this one from Drew Martinez, I think last year, but coming along good. Moving up, this is the Big Jaws crossed with Dentata, the full plant, so it is just looking huge this year. Big Trap, pretty solid looking. Biohazard 2, which is definitely a nice stable clone for me. We have Axel's Cup there, which is just growing like crazy. And we have this Alien crossed with Fused Tooth. Got this one from Maggie Chen, probably about a year ago. Ooh, this is Incredible Red Hulk, also from Matt at the Flytrap shop. Here's another of the Ron Gagliardo A39N clones. Another offshoot of the Dentata A. Then we have 007. This is 13XXK2. Seems like just a standard green clone. And then we end with Alba. So this is pretty much all my mature mother plants. Not looking, I would say, quite their prime anymore, but holy cow, you can't even see the pots anymore. Some I've spread out just a little bit, so like some of these low growing ones still get enough light. I will be dividing and repotting these probably in January or February, but this is what I use to produce all my sales plants. Only from cuttings and divisions. I currently don't do any tissue culture, and I haven't for probably a solid 10 years, maybe one day, but as you can see, these keep me pretty busy. Well, so that looks like we're coming up on about 10 minutes here. That's a pretty good overview of everything. As you see, the stuff on the end, these are the ones that will be for sale or are for sale. So some of them are super nice, like these cup traps. I mean, they look as big as the mother plants. Looks like I have one coquillage, which that one's just spectacular. Pretty slow growing for me overall. These are the arching flat skinny leaves. Honestly, if it had a much better name, that one would probably be one of my best sellers. It reminds me a lot of King Henry, but it is just spectacular. So there's the overview. It is super hot for being the middle of September, so swamp coolers are still running. It's probably about 85 degrees outside and about the same in the greenhouse. Well, I try and get these up once a year. If there's anything you really want to see, let me know. I definitely post a little more regularly on my Instagram stories and my wall there, but sometimes these YouTube videos, they can be a lot more in-depth and I can kind of go through and actually show everything. I just use a 50-50 mix of peat and perlite as my flytrap soil, so nothing super exotic, but they all seem to like it well enough. Okay, well, we'll turn you around. If you have any other questions, thanks so much. Let me know, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up. I don't really know what that does, but I hear people say it all the time. Over and out, guys.